5 boss cells, Hell difficulty. Though, in reality, it's not all that much more difficult than 4-cell mode. You still have enemies teleporting to you, the malaise mechanic is still in effect, things are going to be tighter packed than ever and dealing more damage. It's also something that you don't want to take lightly. The major difference is the door that you can now open up at the end of the Hand of the King's arena, and that comes with its own difficulties, so I'm still going to want to take out the most powerful runs that I possibly can. And today, it's actually a more traditional type than the previous couple runs that I've been doing, just kind of your standard sort of survival, but it is survival with the best weapons that I can possibly muster. The Giant Killer might not have great base damage, but up against the boss, it's amazing. It is absolutely amazing. You will tear through bosses with this sort of weapon. And that is the place that I find myself having the most trouble. Bosses are usually the point where I die in a run, or going up against a cursed chest, but, well, there are other things that I have to deal with that. So Giant Killer, I think, is a pretty obvious choice. It's just great. Second up, we got the Rampart, the most defensive shield in the game. As long as you can keep parrying, you'll have an invincibility. You'll be spending most of your time completely invincible to everything. Now, that does mean that you need to get your parry game on point, but hey, if I can make it work, I should hopefully not be taking too much damage at any point. Maybe. We'll see. Wolf Trap and Crusher, I would say these are more for, elites and bosses, like the previous couple weapons. But, hey, you get a pretty good buff out of the Wolf Trap, you can get some good damage out of the Crusher, and being deployable items, they can also enable some great synergies. Even against big groups of enemies, throwing down a cloud of poison on deployment is effective at basically doubling your damage when you get the right affix on there. So I think these are pretty good options. It's just they'll be coming up later in the run rather than earlier. However, Powerful Grenade, Death Orb, Giant Whistle, Telluric Shock, all things that can kill enemies just trivially. No problem at all. Giant Whistle only attacks a single enemy at a time, which is not great, but hey, it can be an enemy anywhere on screen, even if they haven't seen you, which means that it'll be pretty good for taking out curses and just dealing a lot of damage to bosses too. I think it's got some good multi-use, even if you might have to wait around for the cooldown to go down. Everything else, though, it's like a Powerful Grenade by itself should be able to take on any individual biome I'm going through. And then got Tonic, got Ice Armor, a little bit of extra defense, as well as crowd control out of Ice Armor. Good options. Yeah. I probably won't need Tonic for the most part. You get a lot of regen out of Necromancy, and you already have a huge health pool if you're going survival in the first place. But it's always good to have in emergencies, as always. And Mushroom Boy is a good item. Also does do explosion, similar to the Powerful Grenade. In fact, I think it's a little bit more powerful. Yeah, 300 versus 200. And it also will automatically home in on enemies. Pushing enemies away is good too. But he's got a different mission in this run that we'll see soon enough. Don't worry about it. I just got to make sure that I get one of those guys early on. And because this is the final run of the entire game, I've got one very good outfit for it. My favorite in the entire game, it's the festive outfit. Look at it. You got the glowing pink, which is already the channel colors, as well as a two-tone scarf here, pink and yellow. And then red and green for the blood and bile that I'm going to be extracting from my enemies. I don't know. Everything else is great, though. It requires 4-cell mode to even get in the first place, and you can Wait a second. I thought I got all the blueprints. Well, I can't go after the Conjunctivius in this run, but I thought I was just going to show off the message you get for having every single blueprint in the game, which is just, hey, there's no more blueprints to be found. Essentially. Well, I guess I might have to go do something about that then. Alright. Maybe getting 2 times damage is not great at the beginning here, but as long as I can go and grab one of the several items that I have unlocked for purposes of taking out regular enemies in this run, it shouldn't be too much of a problem at all. The first area in Dead Cells is pretty much exists just to give you you know, create some sort of build for yourself, even outside of having the tubes. There's a lot of... It's small, it's compact, it has a lot of items hanging around here, and that's why I can get Telluric Shock almost immediately. Which is good, because that should deal with at least ground enemies, if not sky enemies. And then Mushroom Boy, like I said, he's got his own reason to be here. Although, might want to get rid of him for the time being. Oh, come on, I wanted to get a good showcase of exactly how great the giant killer can be. Although I think this early in the run, you're probably not going to be able to see that anyway. Let's see if I can make something happen. Also, just get all of these enemies out of here will be nice in general for not taking too much malaise at the beginning. If you're going for survival, and I do think... Oh, there you go. Yeah. That wasn't even like 100% on... or 175% on frozen target. I just killed him. He just died there. Good stuff. Yeah, if you're doing a survival run, especially on 5-cell mode, really remember to keep your malaise in check. Sure, you'll be able to regen up from everything with necromancy and all that I was talking about, but malaise becomes a real issue. This is actually a point where I would almost suggest taking the heart mutation again, just because, well, the heart mutation does does clear yourself of all of your malaise when it gets used, so it can be your ace in the hole. If you're only getting hit a couple times in each biome, suddenly by endgame you can just jump into some spikes and then go kill some enemies to regen up all the health you lost. I don't know what's happening. What are the chances even? That's amazing. No, you know what? Say that I'm cheating. I honestly am wondering if I'm cheating myself. Well, anyway, I guess I don't need to keep the Mushroom Boy around on the off chance that I might not find another one of him. I can just go. All I need is one shop in the next day. My God, I don't know what's happening. Why do you think I would know? Well, anyway, I am going to be going into the Arboretum because I do think, to be honest, I have found that place a little bit safer than some of the other areas you can go to, and having the map should make it pretty trivial to get all the stats and get out of there relatively unscathed. It is a short area if you know exactly where you're going, after all. Another Philosopher's Stone. I guess I can just make a whole one at this point. That is utterly ridiculous. Man. I am actually at a loss for words at seeing that happen again. Well, anyway, I could take YOLO here or Dead Inside plus Necromancy, and I think Dead Inside plus Necromancy is going to be the way to go. Get a lot of extra malaise to be taken, and you know, it should prevent me from dying in the first place. That way I don't have to use up a slot on that, and can hopefully get, I don't know, something else. What's this? Little tonic just hanging around the ground. All right, well, there we go. Initiated into the Secrets of the Architects, and that means that I can now see everything around here. That's the morass. And there's the prison depths, which, hey, if you've gone 5-cell mode, you want to try to get as many points, as many stats as possible, and that's definitely going to be the plan here. All right, so I guess probably go to the right to try to clear out that first, because I'm going to end up going to the left by the end of this. I think that, yeah, this is... You know, try to, like, get every enemy grouped up in here as well as I possibly can, and then Telluric Shock... Oh, my. Telluric Shock them down. That's going to be the plan. Okay. The 2 times damage, though, obviously not really doing me any favors. For some reason, Telluric Shock apparently is, in fact... well, I have that inside. I can't use it anyway. Telluric Shock, for some reason, is counted as melee, so... There we go. That's a good amount of damage. That's a good amount of healing. That's what I'm talking about when it comes to No, I'm scared right now. The 2 times damage was clearly maybe not the best idea. Maybe I'll go take the explosive crossbow just for the very beginning, you know, until I actually go fight a boss. Just to make sure that I'm not going to be dying to the double extra damage that I'm taking right now. It is frightening. You know, all the poor biters there. Well, at least I'm getting to jump a little bit. Getting to experience the mad ups that I think a lot of us only wish we could. Okay. Hey, I didn't realize that actually went through shields, because whenever the mushroom boys are, the mushroom jerks, I think they're actually called, are ducking down, it does basically act as if you, yeah, for right now, it does basically act as if you have a shield on them, and that means that stuff that does go through shields, like whips, for example, does in fact work on them. But I guess also the Telluric Shock, probably because shock waves are something that you can't really parry, like you get from the Slammer or the Hand of the King. An interesting thing. Is it ever going to come up? Well, that's a bit harder to say. The mushroom jerks are not that difficult to deal with, after all. Okay, I can just go grab that Minotaur Scroll and get out of here. I am glad that I did have a lot of ranged items unlocked. I mean, that's you know, again, just for the achievements. And if I do find a colorless one that's good, or just one that I think can kind of work for me, and this is a good item after all. Might be able to get some usage out of it, but I'm not really planning on I'm not really planning on having those used a lot. Just gonna be kind of in and out, and yeah, that's the entire area over there. You know, cleared out, no problem at all. Good invincibility, and that's that. Maybe I should go grab that tonic, because until I actually get necromancy, it's going to be a little bit difficult to really get healed up. This would be a good opportunity to definitely get the most usage out of it that I probably will in the run. Good, and still got smacked one time. Like I said, as long as, okay, good. Yes, as long as I'm keeping the malaise down, like I'm doing right here. I'll have to go really make sure that I am hitting up all the shops, though, because I do need a mushroom boy for my horrible... Oh, no. Got that for stats. For my horrible reasons later on. That seems a bit strange. You know what? In fact, instead of ice armor, I'll take tonic right now, because then I can just spam that right at the next area, too. And still get to keep my stats, and yeah, no, this should work out just fine. Now, what shops? I guess there's a shop over on the right side that I might want to go hit up. I'll make sure that I have a teleporter around here somewhere before I end up making any decisions on that, though. Because you can't really teleport from the middle area. Well, unfortunately, I guess that's... Well, maybe around the shop there, it won't even be all that big of a deal. I'll just be able to get in there, get out ASAP. That's the main thing that I'm hoping for. Oh? It's malaised up, though, so yeah, not nearly sure as much luck as far as getting some incredible pickups go here, but not as much luck vis-a-vis getting a bunch of uninfected food. It's not going to be a problem for right now. One of the great things about necromancy is that it does heal a little bit. That was close. It does heal a little bit of malaise, and by a little bit, I mean like half of your bar. I already saw this one. But, don't want to rely on that. I don't know how much I'm going to be getting hit in the first boss, after all. Or do I? But, that's neither here nor there. Really, the thing I'm more disappointed about is that I'm not going to be able to get the 60 kill door. I do have to go switch out for... There we are. Well, so much for keeping that for the next area. I do have to go switch out for another giant killer, because that is the plan. that singular weapon and getting some sort of good affix on there is the plan when it comes to fighting bosses here. I cannot overstate just how easily a powerful giant killer can crush a boss in this game. And especially if I can be invincible during a huge period of time, so that the whole huge amount of wind-up time that it has can do its filthy, disgusting work. Oh, and by the way, yeah, that's weird, isn't it? I mean, I don't really have too much for blueprints to turn in, and hey, if you do need to turn in blueprints, it actually does do it automatically as soon as you walk through the middle area, but I guess, except for having a bunch of, for necromancy, unless you have a bunch of like forge upgrades to be doing, 5-cell mode is not really the place to be grinding out cells. I guess I'll tell you that right now. Though, really, most people probably, at this point, only have forge upgrades or outfits to get, so it's not that bad a thing. Repeater crossbow isn't bad, but it's not something I'm going to be too worried about right now. No, really going to have to hope for that. I mean, you can open up the door, send out the homunculus rune from what I understand, but legendary item, you say? Okay. 2 times damage, though, maybe seems a little bit difficult to do. I guess it'll be a little bit more powerful than the explosive crossbow for now. I don't know. I mean, as it is, I shouldn't be getting hit anyway. Mushroom Boy, Telluric Shock, you really got to be backing me up here. Also, I'll just let you... Look, I don't want to put too much stress on you guys, but the curse is... Oh, Telluric Shock actually didn't work there. Well, okay. Seismic Strike is good. It's a good item. It's a nice, fast melee weapon, and 2 times damage means that it should be taking out enemies pretty easily. But, you know, taking 2 times damage, let's just say this. Sure, I'm going to have a bigger health pool and everything, but let me tell you, that's not going to mean too much when it comes to the later bosses. They will chew through your health quickly, regardless of how much you have. It's just I won't be dying in a single hit, which is what I'm... Yeah. Which is what I'm worried about right now. As well as just dying here in general, but you already knew that. This is maybe the, well, first off, yeah, getting that, let me tell you, getting that Philosopher's Stone will not go to waste. I definitely will be getting a lot of usage out of it because for some reason, Do I dare? The Giant Killer is very good. I do want to make that absolutely clear, but so is Pyrotechnics. I'm going to take it for right now. Yeah. The Giant Killer is very expensive in shops. It's very, very expensive in shops, so even with the amount of money I've gotten right now, I'm still probably going to be very much getting a lot of usage. I'm still going to be very much poor over the course of this run. Also, why I'm not going to be able to afford a... I mean, if you have few enough items unlocked, it's not all that big of a deal because you'll probably find it, like, somewhere. Somewhere around here. There's enough opportunities to get chests or, you know, the in-between areas, getting the kill doors and everything to get a good version of the Giant Killer, but most of those are probably going to be filled up with a lot of... That works. Okay. Most of those are probably going to be filled up with getting a lot of... What the... Anyway. Getting a lot of the ranged weapons that I have unlocked to make sure that I get my cool achievements. Gold as well as a cell is kind of the thing I'm looking for right now. Or just more stats, of course. But that's always true. Yeah, Pyrotechnics is good, but, I mean, it is also nice to have a good ranged item here. Oh, I saw that. It is also nice to have a good range item here, but this thing really doesn't shine until you get something that will deal... Something that will throw down... Oh, shut up. Something that will throw down some oil. Because oil is, of course... doubling the damage of this, which is important. Or if I'm at full health, which I guess I am right now, getting 50% extra damage, but that's not... I don't know, I'm still fully expecting to switch this out for a good Giant Killer in the future. Gold as well as a cell, I mean, I do really need it right now. That is the major way you're going to be getting all of your gold over the course of a run. I mean, Motion Twin has expressed frustration at just how good it is, which, if that's not proof that you should be using it, then I don't know what is. All right. pretty easy one so far they've thrown at me, but I mean, I had a surprisingly difficult time climbing up the corner of that. All right, there we go. Yeah. Pride begets a fall and all that. By the way, I do want to say again, God, I love the festive outfit. It is very difficult to get, but it's just totally worth it. All right, all right. Ooh, man. I am very stressed out because, hey, like I said, this might not be too much more difficult than 4 boss cell mode, but there is a quite difficult thing coming up here, so it is more difficult in its own way. Invincibility, and we're good. Those balls of cell, thank you. That's also like my main stat, which is maybe the more important bit right now. The more damage I can do, the better, and that's very much the case here. All right, what do you got here? I'll take, I don't really have any good way to deal poison for now. Maybe if I wanted to throw away my shield and kind of keep the pyrotechnics, I might be able to get, to release Toxic Cloud on hit, but, I mean, come on. That's kind of ridiculous. Do I have the money for this? It was like over 100,000. Yeah, no way, no way. It'll have to be the next area before I can do anything there just yet. In the meantime, though, all I need to do is just go hit up the morass. I mean, if I wanted to go over to the Conjunctivius, could get whatever the final outfit from that is. I don't know. I assume it's an outfit because I have all of the items, like, ready to be unlocked. Disengagement is a pretty good option because, as you know, worst comes to worst. Alienation for dealing with a lot of the malaise I'm going to be getting. I mean, Alienation Acceptance is always a pretty good way to heal on the higher cell difficulties. Even if you are going to be taking a lot of extra curses, it's just every time you find food, that's also more malaise heal. Yeah. Spite is good, but yeah. I was still taking the Seismic Strike. That's actually a very good way to get a lot of cooldown reduction just because of, well, you're going to have enemies immobilized all the time. That's just a normal part of that weapon. Blind Faith, also good. I don't know. I think just go with the safe, really defensive type of build that I know and love and keep it at that. Oh, yeah, especially at the very start here, I'm going to be getting a lot of usage out of the... getting a lot of usage out of the Rampart. The Rampart is great for that invincibility. You'll see right now. See? Didn't even take damage. Also, let's get Mushroom Boy out here. All right. Pushing the giant tick around is not going to be too helpful, and I'm not going to blow him up. That is needlessly cruel. Remember those words. But it's like... Bah. It's like Brad. Yeah, there's a food shop in here. And although I would like to save up to get a... Good. And although I would like to save up to get a giant killer in one way or another, I'm also perfectly okay just assuming that I will be able to afford that in the future and just making sure that my malaise is kept down as much as I can. Necromancy, like I said, will have my back on that. Reduces your infection level when you kill a boss. Says it right there, it'll be like half the bar. And when you have dead inside, that's a lot of bars of malaise disappeared into the ether. Okay, I actually managed to make that work regardless. Thank you, Mushroom Boy. Good, good, good. All right, I didn't even see what the little lore room was down there. That's strange. I'll have to go look at that. But yes, I'm still worried. I'm still pretty stressed out, as you can probably tell from... Good parry. I saw it coming, but I was kind of questioning if I was going to manage that. Well, anyway, yeah, I'm worried. I'm worried. You can tell I'm really losing my train of thought because of the stress that 5-cell mode is putting on me, and I'm somebody that's beaten this already, so... This is your first time playing the game, let me tell you. Let me tell you what it is. It's gonna be like 10 times worse. Okay. Oh! What? Where did you even come from? I mean, I guess I'm glad that I smashed a lot of debris on your head, but... Yeah, I'll take a new one. Why not? Get out here. We'll go on a grand adventure. Okay. 4 left. Should be able to deal with this. Ah! There's a rampager. Ooh, I do not like this. Just keep him at a distance. He can't attack you if he's teleporting around, after all. Okay, okay. Ooh. I was worrying. And I'm not quite out of the woods yet, but only one more enemy. Yeah, if you do accidentally incur the wrath of an elite, do remember that they won't attack you if they're teleporting or jumping around or, you know, just changing up their position in one way or another. Oh yeah, the noxious stink thing. I've technically already looked at this before, but there is also like a little research table with alchemist runes down here, I guess. And you did actually find out where this is coming from. It's going through the Arboretum, where apparently they were watering the flowers with that. Maybe not the best idea. You know, hey, this is a good point in time, especially now that I'm no longer cursed, to talk about the lore a little bit. Why not? I've been seeing a bunch of lore rooms around here, but in case you want like a little bit more of a digest version, a little bit more digestible of a version. Pretty much what has happened is that there was, once upon a time, there was an unnamed prosperous island monarchy that apparently was doing pretty good between just generally a thriving fishing village as well as a little bit later on mining up a bunch of mysterious crystals that are apparently very much worthwhile as far as whatever you do with crystals. I don't know. But then what happened was the malaise hit. I mean, I would think that the major... Actually, even before I get into that, I would think that the major reason why the place was so prosperous might have had something to do with the fact that you had the timekeeper around here. She was given a giant building as part of some sort of pact, and I'd like to think that given the way that the king seemed to be incredibly neglectful and just generally he's like super egotistical, concerned about his own well-being and all that probably what happened was whenever there was some sort of issue, he would like literally roll back time and try to in a second. Literally roll back time to solve whatever sort of problems were plaguing the populace, which made him a very popular, well-liked nobleman among most people on the island. Basically, you had like the line from the giant about, hey, you were a role model for us all, and there might have been like somebody else who happened to do that. As it turns out, the king wasn't really to blame. He just happened to have the super overpowered time traveler backing him up most of the time. However, when the malaise hit, in whatever way it did, apparently starting all the way back to the fishing village and going out from there, it was something that you can't just pinpoint a singular problem to solve with, which meant that suddenly you had to do some actual governing and not just worry about, like killing a single revolutionary or something. And that's where he just started to basically throw everybody in jail that showed any sort of symptoms, refused to let them out, and then basically went on a genocidal rampage throughout the entire island. Needless to say, not really improving his public image at all. At the same time, the alchemist was making an attempt in one way or another to try and solve this, but apparently nothing worked, everything failed, and gave up and disappeared mysteriously. In the meantime, you got Dead Cell's guy that appeared seemingly out of nowhere and for no reason, has been kind of cutting a bloody swath through the island and killing the king. Maybe remembering what the sort of issues the king had brought just by the sort of poor decision-making he had. Or maybe there's another reason for that you might see in this very episode. Either way, don't really have too much of an explanation as to exactly who this guy is. The other various bosses that you encounter in the game, I mean, Castaigne being the concierge, the conjunctivius being a woman who had who, while suffering from the malaise, had some unfortunate experiments done by the alchemist, which kind of made her half plant, half animal type of blob thrown into the sewer for safekeeping, I suppose you could say, until it became way more of a problem later on. Timekeeper obviously is the Timekeeper. She's just been hanging around, killing zombies on her own, but otherwise just being frustrated probably at being completely unable to stop the issues going on here. The Giant, having been revived, being, well, already a giant skeleton. You can't really kill a guy like that. At least that's what I assume. He's just basically just having a spa day, because what else are you going to do in the apocalypse? And the Hand of the King still dutifully guarding the king's body as best he can until, you know. Yeah. So yeah, that's, but, you know, the main character, not really too much of an idea of exactly who he is yet. All right, then. Look, I didn't want a fully binding of Isaac, my mushroom boy, but for the sake of having all the content shown off in the game, I needed to. You understand, right? You understand, right? Let's take that for the stats and get out of here. Couldn't get another giant killer, but I think I'll be okay. Sure, the mama tick is in water and is going to be kind of a problem, but you know. Ridiculous. Sacrificial outfit. I didn't even know that was an outfit to get. Well, you do what you got to, really. I didn't, but I guess it doesn't really count, does it? You can't just... unfortunately, that does mean that I didn't really get the malaise reduction for beating the boss, because I didn't actually beat the boss. Ah, well. Just happens like that sometimes, you know? You know, I think I am actually instead going to go into the Stilt Village. That's going to be a bit easier of an area, and it still has a food shop and everything ready to go, ready to heal me up. So, hey, it's good. It's good. Oh, I am going to have to deal with the weirded warriors who do not take too kindly to range attacks, but that's not a big deal. Hopefully. Really having like the bomb and having the tonic if things get real problem, I should be totally fine anyway. As it is, I still have enough like stats and everything to be looking pretty good. It's not like amazing, but I do think that as soon as I get like a better amulet, I should be up to 20, which is kind of where I want to be when it comes to later cell difficulty, like mid-game, first bossy type place. I don't know. I mean, I'm still worried here. But it is looking pretty good. I'm still full up on... I'm still at full health. I'm still full up on... potion charges. I'm looking okay. It's looking okay. Good. I would rather take out the Rampager than Weird Warrior anyway. Oh, interesting. You know what? Sure. Very good for taking out curses, as I was saying before. So I do think that'll be helpful a little bit later on. Sell this, though, for the money, because, hey, money... I need that money, honey. I need that disease. To get rid of that disease. There we go. I almost didn't have it, but then I had it. It's some good stuff. Sacrificial outfit. Crusher? Like I said, I would rather have the bomb for right now, and then switch out for Crusher a little bit later on. For now, though... I like the build that I'm doing I like the build that I'm using. Yeah, that's basically it. There's not really too much else to be said about it. Good, good. Yeah, it really abused that invincibility, and also the fact that on getting another stat, you do reset your cooldowns, usually. Sometimes. Anything else? Anything else? Well, I do need to hit up all the shops because I want to get the improved giant killer that I really do deserve, and that's kind of my best bet right now. Really. Okay, well, I really can't afford stuff right now. I need to get the improved thing. So, I hope I get a giant killer by the end game, by the way. Sure, I might have bypassed one boss, but that's not going to be the case for everybody else. And yeah, I could buy that in there. I'm not going to, though. I really need to keep the fungibles. And I also didn't get as many stats for beating the boss, too, because I lost all the scroll fragments, which is kind of an issue as well. You know, hey, a perfect boss fight, but it does come with its own costs. Will you just blow that whistle already? Okay. Can't hit you in the air very well. Get that parry for the invincibility. Thankfully, like I said, parry timing is very generous. Well, Arch, I don't know how much the thing is going to be costing in the next area is the problem. I'm going to go hit up the Sepulchre to get more shops, because I do believe there are just more shops in general in that area. But it's like I am kind of worried about not being able to get the stuff I need. Well, I suppose I can hit up this area. We'll have something for me, even if it's not quite what I'm looking for. Good. Pyrotechnics run is not what I was seeing coming, but hey, I did say before that perfectly more javelin, eh? Perfectly legitimate way to do runs is to just go in with survival and then just take as much as, oh boy, shouldn't forget about that. That I had left a lot of fun surprises for me outside the door there. Yes, perfectly legitimate strategy is to just take a survival run and hope you get some good colorless items. At least I got the 60 kills, it looks like. And I should be able to get the time door as well if I go into the Sepulchre. Yeah, I think that's going to be the option that I really need to take on. I don't even need to go into the key door, having all 60 kills and everything. Let's peace on out. I don't really think there's too much else that needs to be done here, after all. Is there something in here? It kind of looked like there might have been something in there. Okay. A strange run, but working effectively nonetheless. Working as intended. I mean, just in general, like I said, I do think the Sepulchre is a very safe area comparatively to get into. Sure, you're going to have to deal with some issues, but not too many issues. Come on. Well, it's not quite what I'm looking for. Come on, please. He's still not quite what I'm looking for. Well, that's one powerful giant whistle. Will be very helpful later on, certainly, but yeah. I can't spend more money than that. I was kind of hoping maybe I could get a release of Cloud of Poison, but because it's kind of looking like I might need to at this point. Ugh. Well, it's an unusual run. This is the point in time that I really need to get the Giant Killer again, because I am going to actually be fighting this next boss. This is not going to do it. Yeah, okay. You'll be a good option for the next fight, especially if I do manage to get the Giant Killer in one way or another, because, hey, keeping... Slow weapons don't work too well against Timekeeper, but if you can have some way of locking her in place, it's going to be a lot better. It's going to be much more pleasant for everybody involved. Except for the Timekeeper, but I'm not really planning to ask her opinion on the subject. Okay. Another colorless item? Sure, sure, sure. Be careful, after all. And then I can just giant fist everything that decides to go up against it. Surprisingly well done as far as not dying goes. Okay, whatever. I'm just going to open this up. Yeah. Well, it is a pretty significant increase in damage. Don't really care too much about, like, everything else going on. But, yeah, just, like... That's going to be the plan. That's my brilliant plan for dealing with this sort of issue that comes up here. My 4 billion galaxy IQ plan is about to come to fruition. You know, I can easily take care of the failed experiment here, so I hope it... Yeah, good. Yeah, because I can just do that. And then... Yeah? Hey, tell me it's ineffective. Oh, only one more. Dude. There you go. I told you, taking things slow. It is the way to beat dead cells most of the time. And survival, even with the issues that usually come with it, there are still items that will very much take care of enemies in a safer way than even like your most powerful tactics runs will. And that is your prime example. I should probably go see what's going on with that one elite over in the 3-cell door. I didn't really want to fight it when I was cursed, but I am perfectly willing to fight it right now. Especially as long as I got my Kit Fisto up. Oh, what is throwing down inflammable oil? Giant whistle, good. I guess it is marginally more powerful. Still not really what I'd like to see over anything else. No. But yeah, you can see how it's just like healing up 1% every time I kill an enemy. Just in general, all of the great damage that I'm getting here. The only issue is the malaise, exactly as I said it was going to be, which is frustrating, but you know, okay, thank God. Ooh, that's an expensive one. 20% extra damage, blah, blah, blah. Burning oil could be good, but, eh. I'll just take the one that gives me the stats that I'm looking for. 50% extra at max health. As long as I'm really hitting the parries, I shouldn't have any issue at all. It should be trivial, absolutely trivial to remain at 100% health. I hope. But as it is, it's like, you never know how this sort of thing is going to go. There we go. All right, keep my kit. My kill count, which I somehow shortened to kit, maintained. Don't have... I mean, just the very second that I get rid of my pyrotechnics, I forget that that's not actually the run I'm doing. All right, well, there shouldn't be any reason that I'm getting cursed past this point, so even if I do lose a little bit of health, it shouldn't be a big deal. It's just I don't want to because, hey, trying to get that 60 kill door, you never know what sort of amazing treasures are going to be appearing in there. Could be something really cool. Please continue to have my invincibility. Not the one I was looking for, but sure. Thanks, Giant. Always willing to lend a hand, even though that's the description on the flint, which is the concierge's weapon. One enormous hand to either punch or flip off whoever you're going up against. I guess, well, he also makes a fist whenever he's summoning fireballs, too. It's a multi-purpose type of hand motion. All right, I would like to see if I could get potentially a... I would like to see if I could potentially get a Good. Upgrade to one of my items. I think that there's a good chance. Getting something like, Mushroom Boy. Well, Mushroom Boy was, you know, giving me some sort of... Nah, I think I'm going to be saving up for... Get up here. I think I'm going to be saving up for the Wolf Trap. If Mushroom Boy was giving me some sort of poison synergy, maybe. But that's really the only opportunity that I would be really trying to get that thing on board. It can be a very easy way to apply a lot of poison bleed, even in boss fights, where enemies don't get knocked around nearly as well, but it's not so important that I'm gonna go like try to spend all of my money re-rolling for that. Good, good, good. I'd like to get an upgrade for the Rampart too eventually. I haven't even really been thinking about that because it doesn't really matter how high of a level it is. I'm not really dealing damage with it. I just need it for the invincibility. And that does not increase as you continue on in the game and get more stats or get upgrades for it. But hey, it would be nice to have. Get a few more affixes on there, maybe like some synergies, maybe like a 300%. I mean, it is more powerful what I have right now, but you know what I mean. Anyway. Yeah, more synergies, maybe get like the 300% for the first hit after you parry. That would be nice. It would be a nice little addition to the run. It's not anything extremely important, but I would not turn it down, certainly. All right, there's 30 survival. It's looking good. It's looking very good for a successful run. But I am going to have to make sure that I don't have problems. Yeah, I've already seen that one. Not going to be too much for like lore or anything in this episode, or even a lot of the... Ah, here we are. Better than Death Orb? Well... Nah, as much as I do like Giant Whistle, it's not... I think I'm going to be getting a little bit more usage out of the Wolf Trap over time. Besides, it's like it is, even being a single target type of thing, it can do well against boss fights, but, you know, it's also only... I'm going to get to use it like twice during a boss fight. That's what I'm talking about as far as taking down elites go. Very nice, but come on. At least give me 2 survival on something. Okay, and even though I'm going up against regular enemies, still taking them down pretty quick. That's the power of having good stats. That's the power of really going around, focusing on your main stat, especially when... Oh, man. Especially when... That'll do it. Especially when, you know, focusing on your main stat just means that you are going to be good off in terms of health and everything anyway. Teleport over here. You die? Oh, I guess you died. Cloud of Poison was around there or something. I don't know. That's usually how it goes when it happens like that. And that final hit does double extra damage to bosses or elites. Fortunately, couldn't quite get it there. Man, you're really making this hard on me, aren't you? I mean, making it hard on me. I got a Philosopher's Stone in the very first area. What am I even talking about? Oh, boy, oh, boy. You know... Sometimes you get the bull, sometimes you get the horn, but for some reason it's just been bulls in this series. I was saying that you know, nothing could possibly rival the luck that I've had in the Gungeon series, and somehow, anyway. Anything else I'm looking for around here? It looks like pretty much everything's cleared out in the way that I'm looking for it. Might be able to go down here and get the more improved version of the Wolf Trap that I was looking at. Yeah, not quite good on stats, but it should make up for it with synergistic potential. At least that's what I can hope for. Oh, where's the crypt key? Oh, it's just right up there. All right. Yeah, I might... I mean, I do have a pretty nice giant killer right now, but to be honest, I think that I can easily just choose to re-roll that, maybe into 100% on poison, though I don't really have a whole lot of money to be doing so. Hey, and there we go. I was just talking about getting an upgrade for that, and that's what I'm looking for. I could re-roll it, but also I don't know if that's really a great idea. I don't have a whole lot of money, so I'd be able to do it once and get like 100% damage given and taken. That can put me in a bad position. Can put me in a very bad position. But as it is, just get right back here and go meet my destiny. Can't skip immediately to the Hand of the King after this, but it shouldn't be a big deal. Hey, it's more stats, if nothing else. The 2 stats you get from the area right before the Hand of the King before, and not like amazing. Man, these amulets are just not really giving me what I want, which is just 2 points of survival, really. That's all I need. 20,000, yeah, I'd be able to re-roll it once. Let's stay here, make sure I got a lot of stats, not worry too much about it. Keep it nice, cool, and chill. It's me, and I'm just stupider than ever. Well, so much for a perfect fight. But yeah, see what I'm talking about? This is like without the 100% poison affix. And I might be able to get that in the next area. Okay, come on now. Ah, dang it. I really wanted to get that poison on there and the extra damage from everything. Yeah, and survival builds are usually pretty rough in this fight, but the damage you get out of this weapon is amazing. So what do you got? What's like the last choice items that I got hanging around here? Oh, tonic, which sure I'll just use right now. You can see I got a lot of my melees back down. A blowgun, which apparently does like uncapped damage against the giant if you have networking, which will just ruin his day on a level never before seen. But obviously not really too relevant here. Yeah, still nothing coming up there. Well, I'll try a reroll. I'm gonna roll them bones. Ah, not quite what I'm looking for, but hey, at least I didn't lose any stats. So that's fine. That is acceptable. Into the castle. Not too much more, because the real new stuff is going to be coming up as soon as I get to the Hand of the King. King, obviously not too much of an issue at this point in time. No, I was going to go for the parry there, just because I thought it would be cool. Oh, well. Provided that I'm not going to be taking too much damage against the Hand of the King either, and I think there's a good chance that will be the case. Especially because I do know the parry timing a little bit better on that dude. Like, what do you get? Ah, they really don't like giving you 100% on poison with this weapon, I swear. But also, like, give me 2 more fragments of the Philosopher's Stone and maybe I can afford it. Thank God for all these spikes around here. Anybody else want to come in? Here. Oh, don't come at me, man. I could not possibly be prepared for Delman right now. It would be impossible. That's what I wanted to do. You can get the parry and be a real cool guy, or you can take a lot of extra melees damage unnecessarily. But I wanted to be the cool dude. I had to be a big shot. I had to blow the whole thing out. Yeah, Billy Joel, what of it? All right. Gotta make sure I'm not hitting you back, but 3 hits is all it takes to take down that guy. Which is very, very nice for the next section, as I'm going to be doing, what is it, 90,000 DPS? Could be doing 200,000 DPS if I got like a better amulet and poison synergy. But hey, there's still plenty of time left for that to happen after all. Yeah, this is definitely the point in time that I'm really going to start working towards getting parries a lot more. Because parries, you know, hey, it's not something I've been focusing on too much because it hasn't really been necessary. Here, it will help out a lot to prevent me from taking too much extra melees. The damage, obviously not all that big of a deal. I'm currently looking at about 40,000 health. But the melees, going to be a problem. 129,000 there on that last hit. Doing good. Doing good. I mean, you can also get this sort of like amazing damage out of doing like Scythe Claw or whatever, but it's a little bit harder to use. You don't get like the rampart and everything. You can't really line up synergies as nicely. Sure, you can line it up pretty nicely, but not as nicely. And that's why I prefer Giant Killer, I'd like to say. Shield's still taking those guys down pretty well. Yeah, no, I think, well, we're definitely set to beat the Hand of the King. I do know, like I said, there's more stuff that happens, and that's where the problems might come in. Sure, whatever. Gold as well as the sell, I guess. And use that to re-roll my Giant Killer a couple more times. Why did I come in here without killing the enemies first? Oh, that was a bad idea. Not that bad of an idea, but it could have been pretty bad. Good, good. It's all 3 keys. That's an extra stat for me. And that is also a couple extra items, too. And very nice. Very nice. You always have at least one uninfected piece of food that is guaranteed to drop in every area, but where you actually find, if you actually even manage to find it, is sometimes a little bit more questionable. No 60 kills on this part, but, you know. I got 600 cells. I could at least go unlock like an outfit or something, but the collect man ain't here to collect. It's unfortunate. Yeah. Nobody's going to be standing up to that. Well, nothing really good. Just looking for more stats, really. I mean, that's all I want. That's all I need. I don't even know why I'm bothering. Well, this would be a great one to get, but again, there's no way. There's no way, because I do have generate toss cloud around the trap. It's all there and ready to go if I can just make it happen, but I can't. Look, don't say anything. I don't want Motion Twin to know that I am cheating. Apparently, I don't know. You know, very nice castle. Sure are a lot of bats in here. Oh, interesting. I mean, it's, you know, I guess it's better, isn't it? So, what am I going to say? And then I'll also check in here. Getting as much money, getting the best stats that I possibly can, going to be pretty good. That could potentially, like, give me some good synergy with like, bleed, but nah. And obviously nothing really too much here. This was opened up in the bad episode 3.5 that you can go find a link to on episode 4 if you really want to see it, but just know all you got to do is you just got to go through a very specific route through the game to get in there on 3-cell mode. And that's the long and short of it, really. A little bit worried about these Guardian Knights. And also everything else, but mostly the Guardian Knights, to be honest. Okay, well, you know, if that's the worst damage I'm going to take, it's not even, like, past 5 seconds. All right, this might actually, I'll see. Okay, so with the Explorer's Rune, let's take a look around. A couple more items around here. Okay, fine. I will actually take a potion charge then. Good lord. Did you just have everybody working overtime now that you know I made it to the castle hand? That'll do it. Well, hey, at least I still got the 100% damage on my Death Orb, if nothing else. So I am still getting some good usage out of that nonetheless. Oh yeah, I also have like freezes enemies when I block them. That might be good. It might also make it a little bit more difficult to tell how I'm, you know, get the parrying timing down, which can be an issue. I'll think of it like this. I'll probably be able to kill the Hand of the King before getting timing down because he's slowed. It becomes an issue. At least that's what I can only hope. What do we got over here? Couple items. Anything real good? Not really. I mean, maybe the Crusher. It's got good synergy with the Wolf Trap, but I don't think it's good enough to be, like, anything really important. Load Gun, as I was saying, it has some fun stuff with it, but not anything I'm worried about. And then is there anything else I want to look at before I head on out? Want to make sure that I have every advantage that I possibly can get before heading in here. 30 stats is not the most that you can get coming into this area, but it's pretty good. I mean, I'm saying it's 30 stats because I'm fully expecting to lose at least one rerolling the Giant Killer right now. And there you go. All right. Lose 20% damage all the time from not having the increases critical by 20%, but the 100% should more than make up for it over the course of this. I should be able to cycle him through every one of his phases, no problem. That's pretty good damage. Don't go for something. Ah, that works. Okay, that's fine. Good. Going well. Sure. I'm just gonna make absolutely sure that I'm not gonna get hit by the ugly worm explosion immediately. Can't really stall this out for too long. The Hand of the King will come back down, and he will be none too happy. Ooh. Oh, there we go. Flawless fight. That's what I'm talking about, man. That's the sort of power that you can get out of this weapon. This shield and sword combo. And that's the exact sort of thing that I was hoping for. All right, here it is. The final. The ultimate. The Astrolabe. Yes, you've seen the observatory in the background of the fight. Every time you go up against the Hand of the King, you've seen it shown on each one of a bunch of the, like, ooh, nice. Very nice. Shown on a bunch of areas, just like a bunch of the pictures walking around in here. The alchemist clearly has, I mean, even like the moon has always appeared with a gigantic, like, foreboding skull, talking about, like, you know, the stars and everything you can see around here, and I can see, like, constellations and everything. Give me poison, but yeah, okay. That'll work. And now we finally enter into the alchemist's ultimate retreat. The main gate. The main gate is what the giant was guarding, I believe, in the first place. And now you get access to it. And oh boy, is it an area. It's big. It's got new enemies in here. Those guys are called defenders, and they're great. You see the bombardiers appearing once again. Well, okay, that was my bad. But you see the bombardiers appearing once again. You see maybe my most hated enemy in the entire game immediately below me right now. The librarian. He's terrible. I'm going to try to not show off what he does if I can possibly help it. Oh man, this is an area. You get some weird janky generation, which is something that just appears a lot in this area. Don't ask me why. Don't ask me what the deal with that is. Oh no. Please no. Oh please God no. This especially using like melee non-range weapons. You can take the librarians down pretty easily with ranged weapons, but it's just better safe than sorry, as I always say. Where are you? Where are you, you gigantic nerd? I don't know where he went, but I don't like it. Magistrate of Death. Throwing out his own projectiles that will be flying back and forth, doing a lot of real good area denial, as well as dealing damage. Damage and knockback. Really, the knockback is more dangerous. Because much like the ramparts, this place is just floating in the midair. Why? I don't know, but it is. And here, it's a lot like the castle in the way that you gotta beat a bunch of mini-bosses to progress, because there's 2 keys that you gotta get, and then there's also another 2 keys that you'll get in the final area. Those 2 keys being the elevator key and the Allen key. The Allen key, I guess, being an Allen wrench. I don't know. I guess that's the sort of thing that you consider to be futuristic around in Dead Cells land. Go to the freaking hardware store and buy one for $5. Bypass a huge amount of this level. I also like how there's like scrolls and everything. Oh, well, there's what he does. You can run against the wall because he tries to predict your defend. Well, there's what the defenders do too. You can try to run against the walls like this to get the lasers to miss you for the most part. But if you're around other enemies, it doesn't always work the best. He tries to predict your movement. And you can see like the moon phases going around the island. You can see like the looking at like an eclipse. Like I said, there's a lot of scrolls. Just like that's part of the ground around here. It's neat. Something about. I mean, the thing in the background appears to be like the symbol that I think appears above the potion charge station, and I guess representing life with like a child there. Yeah, there's a lot of neat stuff going on. And what do you got? Still get some shops here. Rarely a food shop appearing. Oh, I guess you can actually see it right in the background here. Like behind the rune, behind the chest, and on these banners around here too. Not necessarily better than what I'm using. Spreads inflammable oil. If I get some way of doing like fire, maybe that could be good. It's a very neat area, and it's a cool reward for having trudged your way through just hell to get here, let's be honest. 4 boss cell is hard, and then do it again. And here's a super area to fight with new enemies. Oh, do the new enemies drop new items? They sure do. They're not uncommon, they're not rare blueprints, but, like, imagine trying to get here with a Hunter's Grenade. Oh, I don't have to, as it turns out. I did. And here's the eventual goal that you're making your way towards. What I like to call the Wizard Tower, because every good wizard has a tower. But that's, until I get the Allen key, it's not really going to matter too much. And there, we got a lore room. I'll check it out. Act different during the full moon. Acting different in the moonlight. I mean, there's a gigantic skull on the moon. Another way that, yeah, well, save that for later. Another way that the malaise might have been the thing. Another way that the malaise might have started. Undead, as the main character is right now, he also seems to be reacting pretty well to the moon. All right. Failed experiments are actually like the easiest of the guys to deal with here, but it doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to be getting hit any less by them. I can only hope that would be the case, but yeah. Good. Death Orb, still a pretty solid thing. Oh, I was thinking that was like a drawing of a cube or something for a second. Nah, not quite. You know, I would actually be totally willing to switch out the... Oh, no. Switch out for the giant whistle right now because, hey, single target damage because you know there's going to be a boss at the end of this area. Yeah. Okay. Here. There, you can see, like, in the anticipation of your movements, he moves himself right past the wall. Oh, boy, and with a defender on him, too. I mean, you know, because the protector is not good enough by themselves. We need to... Good necklaces here, too, but not always. Yeah, it's like the protectors are so good that we need to have them mobile. Oh, and it tries to whack you with it when you get too close, which is fun, but also frustrating when it happens. I lost some runs to that before. Being a very low health, which is the usual way you end up in the Astrolabe, if you're asking my opinion on it. Whatever, I'm getting 1.6% healed. God, I don't want to deal with the slammers. Another example of really great, fun enemies that they... Are you kidding me? Oh, I hate it so much. Oh, I hate it so much. Nope. Nope. That might not be the best against regular enemies. It's certainly more than serviceable, though. Are you kidding me? I was hoping you were going to turn around the second that I came down here. All right, Hey, Giant Killer, going to be effective against these guys. Taking them out in a single blow. Still only a single... Great necklaces, still only a single point of survival. Never getting any more here. Oh, God, oh, God, oh, God. No, not you! I mean, well, I guess it's not, like, significantly worse than anything else that could have possibly happened right now, but, You know what I'm saying? That's what I want to have happen. Oh, I hate these things so much. Oh, when it knocked my head off, too. Knocked my block off. Well, I managed to get here with a lot of potion charges. Might as well use it. Good. And there it is. My wrench. Now, there is, like, more areas that I can go to, but are you kidding me? There's no reason to put myself at more risk. I'm already taking a lot of damage, and it's like, you gotta get through an entire area. It's not even just that you gotta beat the game. You gotta get through an entire extra area to properly beat the game. To, for real, 5-cell moto beat the game. And they're also adding in, like, new traps here. Even if you have, like, masochism, that will hit you 3 times. So if your damage is... If the damage you can take from a single trap is capped out at 10%, that can do 30. Because of a fun numbers game. They're not great to deal with. You can parry it and everything with a... You can parry it and everything with a good shield, but... Or roll through it if you really want to play that game, but it's not great. Yeah, just get me out of here. Back and forth between the tower, and then you'll have to go inside of it. And that's why I got the keys in the first place, because otherwise you can't get inside. I think you can actually get, like, most of the way through, but you do need to, like, open up the area in the first place with the Allen key. So keep that in mind if you want to try to bypass a little bit of this early. Told you that knockback is not good. Okay, that'll work. Magistrates, much like a lot of other ranged characters, do not really try to teleport to you. They're more hanging around in the background to make your life difficult whenever you try to kind of maneuver your way around. A librarian here. See if I can blitz him down real quick. Yeah, okay. And then a lot more traps make even the final climb here. Well, a lot more traps and then elites and everything. It's a lot of fun. A lot of sarcastic fun. Okay. Jam packs enemies even better than in other areas. Oh, come on. Will you just get taken down already? Still nothing. I'm so frustrated. All right. There we are. Very nice, though. Yeah. That's a way to deal with it. Is it the best way to deal with it? Please kill that guy. Is it the best way to deal with it? That's more questionable. And by more questionable, I mean it is not. Yeah, getting that poison on the wolf trap does mean that, like, the damage over time is going to be... Damage over time from it is going to be increased. Yeah, almost got me. Damage over time is going to be increased by being on the wolf trap, which is just good. It's a good little synergy that you can get. Sure. Give it a second. Be somewhat cautious. Okay, the librarian didn't see me. Librarian actually had their line of sight nerfed quite a while back, so it's good for me. And this is the final stretch. You have 2 more elites to go, but thankfully there is actually a very easy way to deal with them. Observe! Having them fall on top of each other is a great way to deal damage, and then in general it just knocks them off over and over. Let gravity do its work. Alright, Guardian Key, and that will send me to the Observatory. The final area. There's nothing else past the Observatory, but you'll see why pretty quickly. And what do I even care about re-rolling stuff right now? I guess I really do. Okay, so I don't really need... I do want Dead Inside, but I don't really need, like, the Necromancy anymore. I'll still keep Dead Inside. I'll still keep, let's say, Disengagement. Emergency Triage for, like, complete protection could be good. Instinct, though, reduced by 1 second, because I'm going to get criticals every single time I hit with this weapon. So then I can just be, like, throwing down stuff over and over. I'm a Gemini, by the way. So, the ultimate boss of the game. Yeah. Hello, Collector. Final boss, the Collector, the Alchemist. All right, so this is a big ol' fight full of many different phases, and having as much damage as possible is very much helpful. Okay. All right. Starts out fairly simple, but, you know, gonna get precipitously worse over time because it's, hey, like I said, multi-phase battle. Okay. Good. Still doing a lot of damage, though. Working out quite well. And then, since he has the Panacea, he's going to be abusing it, to believe you me. To just constantly get his health back up over and over. Do not try to attack him immediately in this phase. It will turn out poorly for you. And hey, there's the Librarian attack. Fun times. I'm a big fan. Just wait until you see it. Flashing, and you should be okay. Good. Just keep going on with the cutscenes. Trust me, it's a good idea. You're going to want to continue on like that. More cutscenes, the better. Parry, good. His spin to win attack is frustrating too. Oh, okay then. Worked out well for me. Okay. Come on. Now he's really getting a lot more damage reduction. But hey, thankfully, this is the last phase. Good. Good. Good again. You can parry these, though. I don't know if I would recommend it. Especially if he decides to throw out spikes like that. Ah, what a dick. Well, I'm still doing okay. There's a good parry. And he didn't have the shield up this time, so I get it. And that is all of my potion charges back, and also a super buff. Watch. The Panacea really does wonders for you, doesn't it? Oh, now that is one good item to get. Maybe one of the most overpowered items in the game, if you ask some people, like myself. So yeah, the Alchemist started out very, very kindly in some ways, but maybe fell to the dark side quickly. Well, anyway. There is... I didn't know that was an achievement. Hey, it's me. You know, if he just wanted to kill me, abducting me before I get any items is probably the best way to do it. So things are a little bit different, and if you thought that the ending was not very satisfactory, that's because you gotta do another 5-cell run. Oh boy, oh boy. And things are... yeah. All right then. Well, anyway. Got a couple of different blueprints I'm missing, I guess. I just want to see real quick because somebody was asking if I could show the actual amount of time that I've been playing the game. I don't think it actually shows it. That's too bad. Well, anyway, I'm going to go do another 5-cell run and join you back at the ending where things have changed. The final collection of weapons. It's just a couple of them here, and most of them are from the 5-cell area, but they're pretty interesting, given that you're not really going to be seeing them a whole lot. First off, start with the stun grenade, maybe the least impressive of the weapons to get. Collector syringe, maybe the most impressive of the cells to get, or of the items to get. It actually uses cells, which is unusual, comparatively. Hemorrhage, sonic crossbow, which is not worth the effort it takes to get it, and thunder shield. So yeah, stun grenade, it stuns enemies and it doesn't stun them for very long. It's mostly notable just because it takes more than a few attempts usually to actually manage to wrest it out of the ramparts, as you'll see in the collection part of this. Next up, we got hemorrhage. Being a survival weapon, it's pretty slow, but it can deal a lot of damage. It also is able to kind of further its own critical because it causes bleeding. At the same time, it does criticals if an enemy is bleeding. It's pretty good. Probably my favorite of the 5-cell specific weapons, but nothing super special, really. The sonic crossbow, it's a very cool weapon, befitting of the area that you get it from. Being like a sort of futuristic, more laser gun type of thing. It does not do that much damage, and it's critical to targets behind the first enemy. It just has natural piercing, and that's about it. And yeah, when you actually see me get it, you'll understand why I don't think it's worthwhile. And then finally, we got the thunder shield, which a nice regal purple color, shoots out electricity. When you get a parry with it, you can have that electricity done in a large area of effect, and also can stun enemies. It's okay. I think most notably, it's just another tactics scaling shield for, the tactics shield runs. Hey, shields are pretty nice to have, even if you are using a ranged weapon for the most part. Of course, the most interesting weapon here, like I said, collector syringe. Get your own spinning attack. Not quite the same thing as the collector, but pretty close. Can buff that up a lot by adding in cells to dealing a lot of damage and lasting for pretty much as long as you want it to. You don't get stunned by falling. You get an increase in speed. This will go through shields and everything. It's an honestly really great weapon. The one place where it is not useful is against the collector, because he takes your cells. But for everything else, it's pretty trivial to get flawless boss fights and everything by just using this weapon alone. Become the spin doctor. You can roll to just get out of it, or wait until it's done, because you can't obviously climb on any sort of ladder when you're using that. It is a fittingly overpowered weapon for finishing the hardest thing in the game. Okay, stun grenade. The stun grenade is a blueprint that I've been putting off getting for a while because it's random if the level actually generates to get it for you. So you might be spending 5, 6, 7 attempts running up into the ramparts until you actually see the thing. And it is always on the far right side of the ramparts. You just gotta drop down and get into a little secret area like that. Frankly, I don't think it's worth it. It's not a very good item, but for 100% completion, you gotta get it. Alright, for each one of the blueprints you get from enemies in the 5-cell area, it's pretty straightforward. Well, straightforward, though you do, in fact, have to get the grenade up there, or get very lucky. For the sonic crossbow, it's a bit different. You gotta go through this, I don't know, let's just call it a trap tower, which is actually very difficult, even with masochism, which I have right now. And it also spawns in a place that is kind of in the middle of nowhere, where you have to drop on top of it. It's ridiculously difficult, even if you do have masochism, because like I said, each one of the traps is going to be dealing 3 times the normal amount of trap damage, because it shoots 3 times the normal amount of bullets from it. That said, getting 30% of your health gone is significantly better than getting all of your health gone, so yeah. I would definitely recommend doing the damage over time run. It's very easy to take out enemies on 5-cell mode and still allow yourself to have a spot taken up by a hunter's grenade, which I did opt to do because otherwise... Yep, there we go, Thunder Shield. I actually did manage to get that with a blueprint, but died trying to go and get the sonic crossbow. So he was pretty lucky to have it appear here. They're not rare blueprints, so you're more likely to see them appear, but... well, I never know when it's going to happen. Yeah, if I lost it there, I would have probably just hopped on my other save file and made it, just use the one that I had already got unlocked. So yeah, damage over time, you can have one of your save slots, or one of your skill slots be taken up by the hunter's grenade, and that's the easiest way to do it, or just do a couple 5-cell runs, and you'll probably run into them. I don't know, maybe. But yeah, getting the key, getting the apex key is not the only thing that you have to do to unlock the crossbow. You also got to get all the way up here and have it, and use the key to get it from that, well, the apex of the wizard tower. Right now, what I'm doing is I'm making sure that I have the area entirely clear before I go up and try to grab the blueprint, because, well, as you can see, I wasn't doing very well, and that was pretty much entirely because I decided to go into the trap tower. That thing really eats away at your health and potion charges, because it's just very difficult to do. And then, like I said, the sonic crossbow is not worth it. It's not that good of an item, and it's not really something that you really... Just take like a magic missile if you want something that's good, that's tactic scaling. That will do you just fine, trust me. And extremely careful, and it drops that right out there. You got to go on the other side of the tower to get it, but at this point, I mean, inch your way along and you'll be fine. In fact, I would probably break down that door to make sure that you don't have to try to open it in midair. Yeah. Hey, 5-cell mode is pretty difficult regardless of what sort of overpowered run you have. Trying to get this at the same time, doubly so, which is why I'm glad that I did it entirely separately from the normal run. And then when you walk over the place the collector is normally at, it'll just automatically unlock for you, which is pretty convenient. Never got to do that again. Oh, the 1001 Knife outfit is actually why I don't have a second item there, in fact, so... This is an outfit that I was wondering about how to get, because I thought you had to be on 4-cell mode. Well, here it is for, once again, completion's sake. Even though I didn't get every single blueprint in the game, I guess the Conjunctivius as well as the Catchers had something else for me. It's fine. It's still most everything. And then, to be honest, I do not know where bombers appear aside from in the 5-cell area, so we had to make one more trek back up here for an Aladdin reference. Nah, whatever. More lore rooms, one related to the king and how people literally idolized him. You can sometimes see that spawn next to the normal king statue you find in here, which looks... well, I mean, he's a noted egoist, I suppose. So, we just have a whole bunch of them right in a row. There's a little bit more information on Castaigne and what he's been up to and how he's kind of not the sharpest tool in the shed. And also apparently a big fan of sunbathing. I mean, what was he up to? I suppose we'll never know. I mean, aside from embezzling. And then finally, one more, which is kind of like the alchemist trying to be a medic in the Stilt Village, but it not going very well. And also maybe the solution that he was trying is called, like, what is it, Purplum or something like that. I think it's probably just a very unrefined version of the Panacea, ultimately. Yeah, needless to say, it did not go very well for him. There's also one other lore room that I never got to see in the castle, which was related to him getting fed up with the king and kind of going and doing his own thing, which is, I guess, what led to what we ultimately see in the game. Back at the Hand of the King, you can still see the glitchiness is happening, and it does happen every single time you go into a new area. But the real interesting thing is the reappearance of the king. Of course, still got to deal with old Handy here, nonetheless. Now, I should have went for a parry there, would have been a lot easier. Very similar type of run, but to be honest, better in some ways. Because basically, just a lot more damage in general. A lot more stats that I happen to get. 36 is better than 30 in every single way. As I'm sure anybody that has ever learned to count has already figured out. Oh, wow, I actually didn't get hit there. Okay, great. Did get hit there. I saw it coming, and I did have I did press the parry button, but, you know, when you're in the middle of a slash, it doesn't always work like that. And because the king is back, you also get the symmetrical lance again. See, I told you there was good reason why I wanted to get out a survival run this time. Get out of here, giant killer. What do I need that for when I got a symmetrical lance? I guess it's only 150 damage, but 300% damage inflicted on enemies is pretty amazing. And yes, I could just go kill him again, or... Yep. So as it turns out, your moss-headed, smoke-head guy, whatever you would call him, was in fact the king the entire time. Had the one of the many things you might have seen in the background of the collector fight was a lot of research into, I guess that would be separating a soul from a body, so that the corpse could be preserved at the same time the person would live on, and which is exactly what happened. And now. The king is a terrible person. I don't know why I'm helping him out, but I guess I don't really have much of any other choice right now. Hey, at least I got a pretty cool weapon out of the deal as well. Don't get the ability to do that that twirling attack, which I would have liked there, but, well, can't get everything you want, I suppose. Especially considering that I definitely don't want to be helping out the king. Ah, well. So yeah, the way that you deal with... And obviously you can't do that because you don't get the homunculus rune until you actually kill... Good. Until you actually kill the king for the first time. And then you're completely unable to possess your original body. Until now. This late into the game. So yeah, you might think that, hey, you can break shields? Wow, that's going to be pretty overpowered in a certain section coming up here. The final boss fight, right? And yeah, it might be good. It is not overpowered. You'll see what I'm talking about when we actually get to that fight. For example, see, it did go through the shield there, which is nice. I mean, going through the shield is certainly pretty good, but there wasn't like a big spectacular explosion. No, all that really happens is that you can attack through shields. Which, hey, don't get me wrong, it's great. It's super good. It certainly makes it a lot easier to deal with the various defenders around here, but let me tell you, it's not anything where you're going to be like, wow, I'm so glad I got this. It's incredibly overpowered. I will actually take this. That's a one powerful giant whistle. And I do think against like a single target could be pretty good. Obviously, it's not anything like really amazing. But hey, the other thing is that it will take out those things very easily. Oh wait, no, it didn't take out the librarian at all. Now did it? According to the giant, as it says, but sometimes I guess the giant and I disagree. I am the king after all, so clearly that is both literally and figuratively true. I mean, it's pretty obvious that this is kind of like going to be the twist, especially after, you know, the giant referred to you as the king. But, you know, still, I thought I'd try to make it at least questionable in some way. Yeah, okay, fine. I know, it's not really that much of a twist. You got me. I know. Just let me have this. Let me have the series that I planned to... Where? How? Who? What did you... Anyway, 300% damage is quite a bit of damage. Shouldn't have to say anything more. Thanks, Giant. You are truly my best friend. I know I killed you before, but, like, come on. Oh, by the way, you still can't use, like, the homunculus rune and everything, which has got to be much, much more unpleasant right now. I couldn't even imagine. Oh, well, anyway, let's keep getting on here, because it's pretty much otherwise a fairly normal end to the entire thing. Of course, you do get another cutscene, and you do get this outfit unlocked for yourself. If you want to, if you are also perhaps somebody making videos, use it to make sure that everybody's spoiled immediately with what's going on. He's got the king's outfit too, so there's absolutely no question as to what's up. Yeah, I don't think I've seen this one. Well, as it turns out, it definitely did not. Yeah, you can see very similar to what you've seen before, and there is also like a lore room in the castle that will talk about how a solution has shown promise, but doesn't really seem to be extremely effective, at least just yet. And I guess that was administered to a bunch of crows, which caused a lot of mutations to happen around here. Why do you not attack the what? Why no attack librarian? Why no play shoot? There. It only took like a good 20 seconds to have happen, but I did manage to not die there. Extended healing is good in its own way too, giving me some pretty big heals in spite of everything. Anyway, this Mushroom Boy, unfortunately, also obviously not very effective at taking down the problems. But hey, with this sort of weapon, I should be okay going up against the Collector nonetheless. He's not really the sort that is, that if you know how he attacks and everything, you can kind of deal with pretty well. Regardless of the amount of potion charges that you have, although I would like to at least have one. You know, I'm just saying. There, and also would like to get some more stats if I possibly can. And I didn't mean to jump down there, but that's what happened now, isn't it? The fear in my voice should be palpable. What do you got? No, nothing. I mean, I got a much better necklace this time, but it's still not anything super amazing. Okay, with at least most of the Wizard Tower looked at, I can just go back, get the Allen key, get the elevator key, and finish up the series, really. I mean, that's kind of like the last thing to do. Yes, and that is why I took this thing. Anyway. Giant, when he actually is doing things correctly, is a very effective ally. After all, when he is doing things correctly. Made a terrible mistake. Anyway, really was nothing down there. Oh, well, at least Rally is coming back to help me. I'm sad. Anyway. I really don't want to be wasting all of my potion charges here. I do still have a fight going on, after all. He ain't done here yet. We're pretty close to done. Not the same thing, though. All right. Good. And that actually would maybe, like, genuinely be something worth taking, just looking at it right there. But because, you know, hey, I get the poison synergy. But I do have, like, poison whenever I parry enemies, so, hey, it's not that bad. Yeah, I'll still be able to get a lot out of poison synergy regardless. And this is the last place I need to go. Not quite the same as the giant killer, probably at the same level, but hey, the damage you can't deny. Pretty damn good. And I guess I'm not going to be able to get any more points of survival. Well, which is unfortunate, but you know, hey, it's not the worst thing either. I don't really technically need more damage right now. It would just be nice. If I wanted to give it to me, it would be nice. Alright, 50,000 health, looking good. Just got to avoid taking too much trap damage as well. Which, unfortunately, not quite as effective as I was hoping there. I'm just going to make sure that I always have... the fist up and ready to go. Giant really doesn't consider these things to be all that threatening, does he? Normally I'd say I can't blame him, but I do. Good. Of course. Oh, that's nice at least. Affects enemies about as much as it does you, after all. Come on, I just want to try to regen up. I just want to try to regen up some of the damage that I've taken right now without having to use my last potion charge. It is my last potion charge, after all. No. Yes. I can't get him. Well, actually, no, I can. You know what? Forget about trying to get the giant to punch him. Do that. A little bit easier for me, and I am overall doing okay on health. It's not like the best, but it ain't the worst. One very confused slammer over there. Sure, whatever. All of this works out just fine for me. Let's go. Still quite glitchy around here in spite of everything. I do think that I am going to want to go with Dead Inside Disengagement. Let's say Emergency Triage. Sure, that will make sure that even if it's a little bit less healing, that I can stay invincible for an extremely long time. Get out here, Mushroom Boy. Having sacrificed you, it's only fitting that you're going to be appearing for the final boss fight, after all. The final boss fight. Yes, it's me. I already seen it. Oh, come on. You know what's going to happen. We just went through this whole rigmarole. And I guess that would be the solution that he was creating, but I don't know. I don't know. I mean, from what I've seen of the king, he seemed to be pretty much the exact same prior to this. Oh, so much for it. Ah, the knocking me around. Not really doing too well here. Yeah, I mean, it's some pretty decent damage, but I don't know. I feel like I was doing better even with the giant killer. I'm gonna keep going. And yes, you can go through his shield, but like I said, it's not really the most like bombastic or crazy thing when that happens. There we are. And there we go. Oh, we even get the critical on here, too. And unlike the final phase, it doesn't really stop him from drinking the panacea at all, after all. No, not gonna stop me, man. Oh, wait. I guess it does actually prevent him from drinking the panacea sometimes. Didn't have to do the final phase or anything. So, you thought this series was going to be a funny ha-ha hoo-hoo. Oh, yeah, we're going to make Doc play through Dead Cells again. Oh, yeah, well, now what? There. Full 100% run of Dead Cells. Well, maybe not 100%. I think you do actually get a specific outfit for beating Collector without taking damage. I made an attempt there. You saw me. But yeah, how about that? Well, trust me, I'm not going to be doing this one again, but I hope y'all had a good time watching me play through the entirety of this game again. I actually did. It was pretty fun to, like, you know, just go around grinding up cells for the forge and everything. But, you know, hey, I said I will play any game that you make me play, and I did it. So how about that? Stick that in your pipe and smoke it.